Elon Musk now becoming the richest man in the world with around $190 billion, beating the king of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, by a few billion. So, yeah, a lot of that, of course, has to do with Tesla and Tesla's stock, which has gone crazy over the past few
Hmm.
months. I am not somebody who's a stocks and shares expert, but my man Thunder here, who has connections with Colonel Singala, who knows a lot about moving money, shall we say,
Wow, wow.
does have some experience. So go on, fill us in about the bulk of Elon Musk's increase, shall we
Increase.
say?
I mean, it's been tremendous. I would say, what, beginning of last year, the richest people in the world were between Bezos, Bill Gates, the Oracle of Omaha, who I just forgot his name now, Warren Buffett, yes,
Yeah.
and Facebook CEO. I forgot his name also again. That, like, wow, what's
Mark,
wrong with my
Mark
brain right now?
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg, Zuckerberg.
So what's basically, let me just break down what's happening in E's mind right now. So when we started talking about money, he started seeing lots of money, and the names kind of faded away to the sides. Sorry.
what
Back to the
what
point.
what you notice is during the pandemic things have changed. Amazon had a very big spike because of course it fed and supplied almost everyone, and that was what pushed Bezos quite high. Then Tesla stock has also done something quite crazy. They're one of the few car companies that were able to push uh, products. They also just opened pushed their sales in China as well at very competitive pricing. And I think Tesla stock had increased tremendously last year. It went over $1,000. They did a split on the stock, and then the stock price also now has gone up to about $800 again. So you do have a high amount where that value is tied to Elon Musk. So Elon Musk now is someone who his value is truly tied to Tesla and also SpaceX, which is great, which is fantastic. But it's
Okay.
also something that I think will be very interesting in the long run.
So a few questions for you. So firstly, do you think do you think that the stock is going to continue going up, or are we going to potentially see it slow down? Are we going to see it potentially go down?
I think it will. I think it will go up. I think it will pass $1,000 in terms of the value of the stock, and I
Okay.
think you're going to see it hit that point, and then of course it's going to split again. So I think you're going to have that just because the way Tesla is riding right now is really high, and Tesla is really it's for people who are in the stock market. Some people tell you exactly why it's going up. I particularly don't understand because in terms of their production and where they are, Tesla is running on a really crazy hype that I think is similar to what how Bitcoin has been going up in pricing. Now the company is doing well. Like the numbers are somewhat there for the company, but I think it's a mixture of Tesla and Elon Musk are doing well for each other. He's the hype
Okay.
man, and that's the hype machine, and it's just kind of like going
It's
back and
like
forth.
feeding off
Yeah,
each other. All right. Another question: is Elon Musk going to stay as the richest man for some time, or do you think there's going to be, Jeff is going to be fighting up again and coming up? What do you reckon? Like, say in
I
the
think
next
I
few
don't
months.
I don't know how long he will stay there. I think when we see Q1 earnings coming, and then when we start getting some of the bad news that Cybertruck's not coming this year, I I I can
Man,
almost tell you that it's just not going to come this year. Sorry, Saf.
man.
It's not.
Well, the thing is, it's going to be coming late to the UK anyway. So,
So it's going to be
yeah.
coming later in the UK.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about Cybertruck in a future episode. One of the things that I want to touch on because obviously there's mixed feelings about Elon Musk. I personally, from a point of view of being a game changer, somebody who's really an innovator when it comes to electric vehicles, to reusable rockets, loads of these things, is somebody that I think, although I don't agree with all of his views, is somebody that I think, is in our time, somebody who is really, making a difference for, the environment with electric vehicles, space exploration. I want to kind of bring attention to one of his tweets in reply to the replies. The original tweeter actually removed it, but his reply was I'm just gonna read this out. This was back in 12th of October 2018. Elon Musk said, "You should ask why I would want money. The reason is not what you think. Very little time for recreation. Don't have vacation homes or yachts or anything like that. About half my money is intended to help problems on Earth and half to help establish a self-sustaining city on Mars to ensure continuation of life of all species in case Earth gets hit by a meteor like the dinosaurs or World War III happens and we destroy ourselves." Did you see that, E?
I did. I had a very different reaction from you.
Okay, so do you want to discuss your reaction or I'll discuss mine?
Sure, I'll go ahead with my reaction. I mean, I like the idea. I mean, on the surface value, it seems really nice. Being an African, him being African also, I see many red flags in between all that stuff. And let's just put it this way. I'm not the biggest Elon Musk fan, as you know quite well. I think he's a very smart individual, and I like the stuff he does, but I also think he's a bit of a megalomaniac. I'm not saying he is. He just comes off as that to me.
Okay.
So, so for me, I'm always cautious with that kind of stuff in general, which means I take that with a grain of salt, and hopefully I actually will swallow the salt and I'm fine with it. That's how I put it. I'm like, I'd rather take it with a grain of salt and go, okay, I was wrong. It's cool. I'm glad.
So the thing that hit me is, right, so okay, this self-sustaining base on Mars, right? So because I always hear people talk about this, it's like, whatever it's going to take. I believe I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about this as well. Whatever it's going to take to solve the issues here on Earth, whether that be climate change, etc. Surely that's going to be easier and cheaper to do than trying to set up a self-sustaining base on Mars, right? And I see that, but then I also see the other side of things. Now, the meteor hitting Earth, as far as we can see scientifically, it's not likely to happen anytime soon. And even if it was to happen, there would be very little we could do about it, like to actually deflect it. This is not the expense.
Oh no, I mean, we can do express stuff. Come on,
we can't do that stuff yet. All right, technology doesn't allow it. But the interesting thing for me was, the last line, which hit me hard, and I was like, I tweeted this out, and I also put it on Instagram. World War III happens, or we destroy ourselves. Right now, here's the thing. So the people who say whatever it takes is going to be easier to just fix the problems on Earth. How do we fix leaders in countries who have access to nuclear weapons, right? That's something that's not easily fixable. And, that's something that is potentially, and I don't want to go too deep here, right? But it's a possibility. Things could go wrong very quickly. And we've seen what a pandemic has done to the global economy and everything over the space of a few months, right? So for me, that hit hard. And I was like, hey, look, whatever it is, right? I would be totally in support for this base on Mars, which would be like essentially a backup, but also would kind of extend our chances of survival if there was a situation to come like that, right? And I would also want to be on the flight to there because of everything that's happening here right now. So sign me up.
I was going to say, as would the colonel be allowed on that Martian base?
He's gonna turn the Martian base into his own
Singala too.
Kingdom, and he's gonna be like, he's gonna have all these Martian wives and all sorts. But yeah, that's something that That'll be we can make we can make a little sketch about that sometime, or a movie. But yeah, no, I just thought it was quite interesting. But I think the whole situation right now with Elon Musk, it's something that I'm quite interested in seeing. I mean, obviously, I am a Tesla fan. I'll put my hands up. I own a Tesla Model 3 and I have a Cybertruck on order. I like the technology that's been bought. I like the innovation that's come here. But also, as I said, somebody who's very much into space and just exploration. I think that's a really interesting angle, and I'd love to see how that develops over the next sort of decade. I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to hear the full podcast episode, then that will be linked down below. And if you want to see more clips like this, then be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss them. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf Speaks, and I'll see you next time.